This is the third time Governor Agbu Kefas will hold an interactive session with journalists in Taraba State since he assumed office on the 29th of May. The meeting is to give members of the pen profession in the state opportunities to ask questions and set agenda for the governor. Declaring the interactive session open, the Senior Special Advisor to the Governor on Media, Emmanuel Bello, thanked his principal for having great respect for journalists as well as carrying them along in his government.
And that's a very good one because most people, in fact all people, only know what government is doing through the eyes of the media. And that's why serious governance, purposeful governance, concerned governance, governance that is dedicated to work for the people, government that is really serious about doing the right thing, we connect with the media. So we're grateful because this is back to back from the first 100 days in office. When you had an interactive session, you're calling us back. In fact, this particular one was your request that you want to re-emphasize on your policies. I think there are so many questions around our policies. Some people thinking that some of them are still in the realm of the promises. But this kind of session is to help us build around those and understand why, for instance, certain things are taking time, and the dedication and the determination of governance to our government to ensure that everything that has been promised, everything that has been outlined is still in focus. From this speech, Your Excellency, it's very clear that you have not wavered from your set objectives, the 5-point agenda that you set out to do, and of course, fleshing those points out. So without much ado, this is an interactive session. It's not for me to give a long speech. The idea is to hear from us questions concerning almost just about everything, the questions that we have concerning some of the misgivings, some of the concerns, some of the observations that a lot of people make to us. You know, they come to us and they ask this question. We are glad today that we're before His Excellency himself to give you direct answers to those things. You are not just hearing them from media aids and the sort of thing we try to do with you, but you're hearing from the horse's mouth, as I say. So it's an opportunity for us. A platform is here. I think what we'll do is go around, those of you who have got questions to ask. I think we should do it in an atmosphere of seeking light, seeking truth and openness around it. So we can be very direct in our questions and very clear about it. Once again, sir, we thank you so much for your openness, for always allowing us to come and ask these questions, for your transparency, your determination, your concern, and the focus you have put to leadership once again in this state. So, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open.
In his remarks, Governor Agbu Kefas spoke about some policies and programs of his administration and restated his commitment to ensuring that every child in the state has access to quality education. According to the governor, education is the bedrock of development of any society. The governor explained that he has implemented policies to provide free primary and secondary education, which he said is a step towards breaking down barriers to learning and empowering the future generation. Governor Kefas added that he has also taken steps toward reducing school fees for higher institutions by 50%, noting that the gesture is intended to reduce financial burden on parents and guardians. He also spoke on the need for enhanced welfare for workers while reiterating his commitment to timely payment of salary and pension to ensure residents live comfortably. Governor Kefas noted that security remains a priority of his administration, and he is addressing threats in the state and working with law enforcement agencies for safety and well-being of the people. In the interest of environmental preservation, the governor said his administration suspended mining in the state to mitigate the impact on the land and the people. Governor Kefas explained that healthcare is fundamental, Hence, he is committed to improving facilities across the state. The governor added that the goal is to ensure that no one travels long distances to get quality medical care.
Distinguished gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for joining me today for this important media section. I stand before you as the governor of Taraba State, humbled by the opportunity to address you on a range of policies and initiatives that are close to our heart. Education is the bedrock of any society, and we are committed to ensuring that every child in Taraba has access to quality education. To this end, we have implemented policies to provide free education for primary and secondary schools, breaking down barriers to learning and empowering our future generations. Recognizing the importance of higher education, we have also taken steps to reduce fees for higher institutions by 50%. We want to make sure that financial constraints do not hinder anyone from pursuing their dreams through tertiary education. Our commitment to the welfare of workers also is unwavering. We understand the importance of timely payment of salaries and pensions, and we will continue to prioritize this to ensure that our dedicated civil servants can focus on their duties without financial worries. In our effort to engage and empower our youth, we are working to provide incentives to NYC members who are serving in Taraba State if they can take up teaching work in various schools. We believe that their skills and dedication can contribute significantly to our development. Security remains a top priority, and we are actively addressing security threats in our state, working closely with law enforcement agencies to ensure the safety and well-being of our citizens. In the interest of environmental preservation and community well-being, we have suspended mining activities in almost all the areas in the state to mitigate their impact on our land and our people. In the area of healthcare, I want you to know that healthcare is a fundamental right, and we are committed to improving healthcare access and facilities across the state. Our goal is to ensure that no one has to travel long distances for quality medical care. Taraba State holds immense potentials for investment, and we are eager to open our doors to both local and international investors in due course. We envision Taraba becoming a world tourism center with vast opportunities for growth and development, and we are working towards achieving this. Basic infrastructure development is crucial for progress. We're committed to enhancing our roads, electricity, and other essential infrastructure to make life better for our citizens. However, despite challenges we face, I want to assure you that we are determined to fulfill our promises. We are committed to transparency and accountability, and we will ensure that the people of Taraba State have a say in their governance through local government elections. So we will select credible and dependable individuals to bring forth governance to our grassroots. Now to the media and people of Taraba, I want to reiterate our commitment. We will do what we ought to do as a government, as I invite you to ask questions and seek clarity on our policies and action. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize that the progress of Taraba State is a collective effort. Together, we overcome challenges, we achieve our goals, and build a brighter future for all our citizens. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to your questions and insight as we work together for the betterment of Taraba State.
Journalists took turns to ask questions with the governor, providing answers.
Your Excellency, your policy, one of the most popular, the one on education, which reminds us of the Agbu days. Maybe it's what Agbu did that you are about to do here. But Your Excellency, a lot of people, some who say they are seasoned educationalists, will come and tell us that we should wait and see that nobody funds education totally the way you are trying to do. And now, the questions they are asking is, with the population that is coming in, where will you accommodate these students? Because hitherto, school infrastructure was so lacking in the state before you came on board, Your Excellency. So these are some of the concerns I believe we should bring to your notice. And when you address them, the people will now come to believe what you're doing. Thank you.
The biggest tourist asset of Taraba State is the Mambila Plateau. How do you intend to achieve this? And tomorrow is the World Tourism Day. What should Nigerians or the people of Taraba State expect? By now, we expect that some journalists will have been mobilized to be on the Mambila Plateau. But even as we are talking right now, we've not gotten any signal to that effect.
I want to tell you what others are talking about, the issue of education, that education is a service. If you invest 50 billion naira in education, the means of sustaining whatever you have invested from our economy, they did not see. That is number one. We're talking about tourism. You came in here and discovered that all the state's investment on hospitality have gone dilapidated. And for the past 10 years, none of such has been taken care of. I'm talking about Taraba Motels, the stadium, and the rest of them. All the structures have gone bad. I think I don't want to be too much. We're also talking about our air transport agency. That agency was created. A few aircrafts were bought. Shortly after Dambaba's crash, we did not know what happened. Today, we don't even know the whereabouts of this aircraft. Yet, we are operating an airport with an outside air transport. Tarabans, we want to know something about it. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I have monitored your activities and I know you are a godly person. Tarabans, especially the Christians, are concerned that one of the worship centers, which happens to be the glory of the state, has been under key for the past 6 to 7 years now. Different governments have tried to resolve the issue, but to no avail, nothing has been done. Some of them want to find out if the government is interested in opening the church so that prayers will be going on as the state government is making effort to transform the state. At least the prayers from the church would also be supporting the government. So we really want to know how soon the government intends to intervene in that issue. Thank you.
Excellency, recently you stated that your administration will introduce mobile clinics to cater for the health of residents and, as a measure, enhance the state's health sector. One would like to know, may we know also, if their ambulances have arrived and when should we expect the services to commence? That's one. Secondly, are there plans to inculcate the Primary Healthcare Development Agency to foster service delivery? That's two. And thirdly, we also like to know if the services will be free or it will be at a subsidized rate. Number four, we also like to know if there are plans to engender health insurance scheme for civil servants of Taraba State. Thank you.
The students of School of Postgraduate of the university also appealing from you of that reduction because it has not affected them.
Of children coming back to school, where do I want to accommodate them? You see, the problem we have is that we limit ourselves. And we see governance as the governor's affairs. All of you in Taraba voted for me. I'm saying all of you, it's not all that voted for me, but let me assume, since I won, everybody voted for me. And you expect good governance. We work together. The first question I expect you to ask, where were these children? Where were they? Where are they coming from? So that means I have foresight. So I expect that everybody should be thinking, how do we solve this problem? They are all our children. Why are they limiting it to me alone? Why? So the earlier we deconstruct our mindset, renew our mind, and see it as our own problem, the better for us. The governor alone cannot build a state. It requires collective effort. If you leave children alone to go to school without parents giving them parentage, education alone without character cannot take anybody anywhere. So it's a collective thing. So I want you to disabuse your mind. Don't see it as my problem alone. Two, what are you talking about? If you're in a war situation, will you be looking for a house where you want to stay? Is it nowhere you can take cover so that you can be alive? We have declared emergency on education. The most important thing is that let all our children have access to good and good. Now, we continue to do assessment. We have a lot of land everywhere. We can create schools. We need to be very creative. Thank God that we have identified the problem that all these children that were deprived, demonized, have not getting their liberation. They are coming out of darkness to light. So those of us that are in light now, we should try and find a place for them. So I want to assure you that as a government, it is our responsibility. Education is everything, so we must prioritize it. Even if it means vacating some places in government house to put them to learn temporary before we get to play, we'll do it. We have a lot of our citizens that are not living here. They have houses everywhere here. We'll look at those houses and turn them to accommodations. When I visited this Unity school, when I saw the kind of state they are living, I closed the school, break everywhere, took them out of the place. People are saying, let's see the magic he will do. How will he build a house in one day? I have not built the place, but the children have found a good place. where they're going to continue their study. It won't stop them. So I'm not narrow-minded. I know what I'm doing, and I'm focused, and I'll continue to do it. So we're going to make sure we'll get there. So we'll do assessment, and then think and plan. And we'll include it in our next year budget. So we are starting, and I believe that we'll get there. The second question that Ayodele asks about how do I intend to achieve this tourism of a team, Mambila being the eye of tourism in the world. Am I right? And you're talking about tomorrow is World Tourism Day. Thank God you said tomorrow is World Tourism, not Taraba Tourism Day. So it's not a day that I created. So I won't stop them from doing what they're doing. So I'm going to create my own day. Then you can ask me any question, then I'll be able to answer you. But let tomorrow take care of itself. The third question by Joseph talk about education. Others are saying education is service, the means of sustaining it. You know, some people have not seen death. They've started planning their coffin. How are you talking about means of sustaining? Life is revolving. Governance is activities. As you take one step, it will bring about the need for the next step. And you will talk about it. How did we get here today? Do you know that we're going to be here today? So sustaining it should not be a problem. There are so many things to sustain this project. We have agriculture, opportunity are there, and we are working on that seriously. Mining and other things. Even by this human capital you develop, there's a giving back. And that's all of us are here to give back. So I don't want you to be afraid of sustaining. Let tomorrow take care of itself. But we are sure of today. When tomorrow comes, then we will know whether we can or not. So I'm very positive in what I'm doing. I'm very focused. And I know that it is sustainable. If I'm able to feed myself today, for the fact that I feed myself today, that means tomorrow there will be food. It might not be the same quantity, but at least it shows I will survive. So let's have this survival instinct. Let's be positive about things. You see, when you have faith in anything, you have faith like a grain of mustard seed. You just need to say to this mountain that you should move to this place, it will move. So every mountain will move. Just by the declaration, every mountain will move. If you believe it, say amen. Then you talk about the hospitality business. These are the things we are trying to do. There are all sources of revenue to also take care of some of these things. So with little things we have, we'll try to fix them back so that people will be attracted into this thing. So it's work in progress, and I think we'll continue to do that, to get results. Then you talk about air transport and the aircraft that we have in the state need to know where those. That's why I set up an assessment committee to go around the state and even outside the state to identify all Taraba state properties and give us the state of those properties. So let's wait patiently for the report from the committee. 50% reduction, free education. What do I do with those outside the state? Well, charity begins at home. Let's start here, then we'll now think of how we can support them. That is where you have scholarship board. So we'll look at the budget, we'll have data. We need to have data of all Taraba indigenes that are schooling outside the state, that are students, what they're studying, the courses they are doing, which level are they, their contact, and so on. Then The government now will become responsible to be checking their performances and encourage them. Just like I instructed the Commissioner for Education, I saw a young boy in secondary school, I think he was in a quiz. Before they ask questions, he has answered. Before they ask questions, he has answered. I told the Commissioner to look for that boy. So we have many Taraba children like that outside. So that is where data collection is very, very key. So once we're able to get all those things centralized and done, I think we'll be able to work out a kind of scholarship scheme for our children. So, yes, the future belongs to the youth. So, allow them, let them be liberated. So that something like NSAS will not arise.